Hello friends, welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. My name is Gracie, I'm a first year medical student, and today I'm going to be walking you through some interview tips as I know that interview season is upon us. I wanted to apologize first and say sorry that I haven't posted in a while. I've been really busy, just obviously with medical school, and I'm getting married in 2 months, so I've been planning my wedding. So it's been a little crazy, but I'm really happy to be back. I just finished my hematology and oncology block of medical school. It was my first full systems course. And so yeah, I have the weekend off, which is really nice. We are going to be talking about interviews. So I thought I would start out by kind of saying what I've been through. I've been through 3 medical school interviews and they were all different. So one of them was in person, 2 of them were virtual. One was an MMI or a multiple mini interview, and the other one was just a kind of normal, just a normal virtual interview. My favorite out of all those was the in-person interview, and my least favorite was the MMI, the virtual interview. So I'm gonna start out by kind of giving you guys tips for each, and then I'll kind of give some overall tips like just for interviewing. And honestly, these tips are applicable to really any job, not just medical school. So for the in-person interview, my first tip is to dress in the proper attire. And I'll just like insert a picture of what I wore to my in-person interview right here. For your medical school interview, you're gonna wanna wear business formal attire. So for women, that's going to mean a blazer and a dress shirt and either a pencil skirt or nice slacks. For men, that's gonna mean a suit jacket, a tie, a dress shirt, and nice slacks. I do not think that your medical school interview is all about how you look and what you're wearing, but I do think that this goes for any interview. It is very important that you put your best foot forward, and I think it shows that you care a lot if you are dressed in the proper attire and if you come looking the best you can look. A lot of people don't actually understand the tiers of attire, so that's just an important little side note for that. For the virtual interviews, if they give you an option to schedule in person, please do that if you can. It's way easier to kind of sense what the environment is like and what kind of the vibe of the students is when you are in person. However, I know that that's not always possible. For the virtual interview, if they give you the option to talk to medical students that are currently at the school, definitely do that if you can. Because I was actually interviewed by a 4th year medical student in my virtual interview, and that was really helpful, just getting to talk to her, and it was very relaxed. And I think I also kind of got a little bit of a feel for what med school was like there. And they also gave me an option afterwards to talk with a current student, which I did and was very helpful. Okay. For the MMIs, the multiple mini interviews, I'm gonna have a little bit more tips for this. These are tough because you typically have 4 to 6 different ethical scenarios, medical ethical scenarios. And so my overall tips are to repeat the question back to them, because basically they'll give you like 2 minutes to read the prompt, and then answer with honesty and know the principles of medical ethics. And these will kind of guide you through your questions. So the 4 principles of medical ethics are beneficence, non-maleficence, justice, and autonomy. When it comes to interviewing, my first tip would be to talk to the students, the current students. I think this is super important, and this was what really drew me to the University of Kentucky, specifically the Northern Kentucky campus. The students were so kind. They all knew each other. They seemed like a very tight and close-knit community, and they also seemed like they had a life outside of medical school. I have talked to other students who have interviewed at places where the programs are great, they have wonderful research opportunities, they're a top 14, top 25 medical school, and they talk to the students and they immediately are turned off to the school because they seem like they don't really like their lives and like they're a little bit depressed. And honestly, I think the culture and environment of your medical school is way more important than how it ranks internationally or nationally. just because you are going to be there for 4 years. So really think about that. Another point I have is ask questions if you have them. Normally at the end, they always say, "Guys, have any questions?" And if you have some, ask questions. And I think also go into the interview with some questions. So the interview that I did in person really felt so comfortable. And it just felt very casual, and like conversation that I was having with the dean and with all the medical students, it felt comfortable. And sometimes you might not answer the question just exactly how you think it should be answered, and you'll think about it for days on end, just like I did. But I think it's just important to try to answer with the best of your ability. There's not one right answer. So yeah. Finally, and this is super cliche, but be yourself. Don't be anyone else. They can tell when you're acting fakely. So, and there's so many different personalities in a medical school group. So don't think that you just need to have one certain personality to fit in. I can truly attest to the fact that there are so many different people with completely different introverts, extroverts. There are people who are more artsy. There are people who are more STEM brained. I was definitely one of the more artsy people. While I have other friends that did a ton of research and were chemistry majors. So definitely just be yourself. And I think that's one of the really important things about medicine is having a variety of people and different personalities that will click with so many different patients. So I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, so finally, I wanted to kind of talk about the wait list and what that looks like. So for the school that I got into, I basically interviewed in August. So I interviewed one of the first groups, and they told us that in October we would find out whether or not we were in. And I was waiting for that email October 15th, and I did not get it. So I was really sad, thought I wasn't going to get in. They told me that I was going to be on the wait list. And I decided in mid-January, I really want to get into the school. So I ended up actually calling the admissions director at my school, and I said, "Hey, I really want to get into this school. I want to know if I would be able to potentially go to a regional campus, or like basically what number on the wait list am I, and how likely is it that I will get in?" And that was honestly really assuring, because they always tell you at the end of the emails, "Please let us know if you have any questions." So I took it to them and I said, "Okay, I'm going to call them." And they gave you their phone number. So I called him, and he was so nice. And he was like basically telling me, "You're number 27 on the wait list. Like there's going to be a lot of shifting because people are going to be making their decisions, and people that basically got accepted might choose another school." So he was like, "You'll find out in the next few weeks." And believe it or not, February 11th or 8th, I think, last year, I got into University of Kentucky. And a lot of my friends that are in medical school now were on the wait list when they first interviewed. And then they ended up getting off in April or as late as May. So I would encourage any of you that if you are on the wait list, don't feel like you're a failure, like you're not going to get into medical school. Like, there's still time, and I would encourage you, if you are on the wait list, to write a letter of intent. And also, if you just want to know, just be honest with them and just say, "Hey, how likely is it that I'm going to get in here?" So you can start making your plans. If you have to take a gap year, there's no shame in that. Most of the students at my school took a gap year or 2 or even 3 or even 6. So I would just encourage you. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching my video today. I love having the opportunity to give tips to current pre-med students, also high school students, anyone who is interested in the medical field. I wish you luck on your interview season if it is that for you, and if not, I wish you luck in the future on your medical journey. Thank you for watching. Bye.